Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a full face of nothing new. I haven't done one of these in a little while here on my channel, and I like incorporating these into my content. So I went through my collection and picked out a bunch of things that I either really like and I just haven't used in a while, or things that maybe I feel a little uncertain about that are older in my collection and I wanted to try them again. So that is today's video. If you are new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel. I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. And let's get started with the makeup. I'm gonna start with some of this Merit Great Skin Serum because my skin is just dry. So I'm gonna start with some of this. This stuff is incredible. If you have dry skin, you will love this, I promise. Even if you just use it in your skincare routine, like not before makeup or anything, it's so hydrating. And it is an oil, but it does kind of set on the skin. It doesn't remain oily. It is a lifesaver if you have dry skin like me. So I'm applying this kind of all over. I'm kind of putting it under my eyes too because the under eyes are dry also. And I'm just gonna apply my Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve on my lips. Almost done with this one. I already have a backup though because that's how much I like it. And then for SPF today, I'm gonna switch it up and use this one from In Beauty Project. This one is the Mineral Sun Glow. I really like this one. I do kind of wish it didn't have any tint. I don't know why. I don't love a tinted SPF under makeup. I really prefer one that has just no color, but I'm having trouble finding one that I really like that's mineral based. Since I'm pregnant, I'm trying not to use the chemical sunscreens, but all of my favorites are chemical, so that's been kind of a challenge. All right, let's get into the makeup. So the foundation that I pulled out today is this one from Fenty. This is their newest foundation. It's the Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Longwear Foundation. Mine is way too dark for me right now, so that's why I don't reach for this one much. So I'm gonna use this, which this product has come in handy so many times recently. This Haus Labs, it's the Triclone foundation, but it's just in the white color. So you can mix this in with anything, basically, to make it a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna try to do that with this Fenty foundation today because I haven't used, I also really need to use this Fenty one a little bit more, figure out exactly what I think of it. I remember liking it, but the shade has always been pretty off for me. So anyways, I'm gonna mix some of this. Probably gonna have to mix a good bit of it because it's quite dark for me. The Fenty foundation shade that I have is 230, and that one is okay. I can make it work in the summertime or if I have self-tan on, but it is not summer and I do not have any tan on right now. That is, still looks kind of dark for me. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the pigment. That's the only thing that's kind of tricky about this is each foundation is obviously going to need a different amount of the white pigment depending on how dark it is. So that is kind of tricky. I'm gonna have to go for this, and if it's too dark still, then I'll use a lighter concealer, I guess. And I am using the new 115 brush from BK Beauty to apply this. It's still really dark, and I added almost a pump and a half of that white pigment. I really don't want to take this off though, so we're just gonna go for it, and I'll have to use a lighter concealer to tone it down. All right, I'm gonna kind of tap all around this foundation to pick up any excess, and we're just gonna have to try to fix this with some concealer. This is one thing I'm gonna do differently this year with foundations and things, is last year I went kind of crazy with buying shades that work for like self-tan, which at the time I was self-tanning more, so that's why I was doing that. But now I have a lot of foundations that are way too dark, and not that, you know, I can't use the white pigment or something else to try to fix it, but sometimes I don't want to do that. Like, I don't have the time to sit and do that, so I am not going to be buying a ton of darker like self-tan foundations this year, because I kind of went way too crazy with that last year. Because this foundation is pretty, I'm remembering this now, it's pretty glowy, but I also have that Merit Serum, and that In Beauty Project SPF is also very glowy. It is a pretty foundation though. It's just not the right color, but okay. Let's do some color corrector. So I pulled these out because several of you reminded me of these in my Kosas review of the new correctors. I can't believe I forgot to include the Exa correctors in that video. I don't know how I forgot them, but I did. And a lot of you were asking how these compare. These are similar to Kosas for sure. They are a little bit on the thicker side as the Kosas one is. I do think the Kosas is even more pigmented than this one though. So I do think they are similar, but I would say this one is more of a true medium coverage. The Kosas is much closer to full right away. So that's kind of how I would compare the two. I really like this one still. And the pink shade, a few people had asked about the pink. The pink is pretty light in this one, in the Exa, which is definitely a bit lighter than the Magic shade in the Kosas. This is one of those kind of pink, almost white looking shades. Like on me, when I put this under my eyes, it looks almost white. So I don't ever use the pink by itself. I will sometimes take a little bit and mix it with the peach. That's what I'm gonna do today. But I would say this, not really a color correcting shade on its own for me personally, just because it's too light and we get the same problem with the darkness casting through and all that. So that's kind of, those are kind of my thoughts on how they compare. And let's see, I'm gonna blend those with the Nikki LaRose N16 brush. This is a really good formula though. Honestly, like, see how good mixing those two colors, see how well that works together. I kind of want to do that with the Kosas ones. I think Magic is obviously a little bit too light and a little bit too purple. And I think the second shade, I could absolutely make it work, but the shade is not perfect. I think it's got a lot of yellow in it, and I don't really love yellow tones on myself under the eyes. So it makes me kind of want to mix those two at some point. So I'll probably try that in a video at some point. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the peach one, put it on my nose, and then I have this little like stubborn spot of melasma, like kind of like on the same side or in the same area on both sides. I don't want to overdo it there, so I'm just adding like the tiniest dot. And then I have the same little spot on my nose too. Let's try to lighten this up a little bit with some concealer. So I pulled out again from Fenty the We're Even concealer. This one is the shade 185, and this is kind of a trick. I think I've talked about this before, that I'll do sometimes if the foundation shade is off, as in like it's too dark. I'll like use my lighter concealer down here, like near the jawline, and it kind of helps the foundation blend down into the neck a little bit better. And then we'll do some under the eyes, middle of the forehead, nose, chin, here. and here. By the way, this new 115 from BK Beauty is a definite new favorite foundation brush. I have used this pretty much exclusively since that video where I tried the new trio. But this one with the angled tip is so good. It's just basically a smaller version of the 101. But I really enjoy this. So when they release the singles, I'm probably going to order a single one of these because I've been using this pretty much nonstop. We're about to get, I guess, some crazy weather here in the next like few hours. It's been raining pretty much all morning, and then now the rain has kind of stopped, but it's so windy. Like the walls in this office are like vibrating. It's so windy. I think it's about to get really, really cold. Cold for South Carolina anyways. I feel like Fenty hasn't come out with like a big release in quite a while, and I'm kind of surprised. I feel like they would have. I know they just released, I think it's a new setting spray maybe, and now I feel like everyone's launching setting sprays too, which is so random to me because I saw, okay, there's the new Fenty one, and then Anastasia just released a new one that came out, I guess, with their new foundation. And then I feel like there's another new setting spray that I just saw. Makeup by Mario came out with one, but that's been a little while. That was back when he released his powder. But I feel like setting spray is such a random thing for brands to just start launching, but seems like one of the go-to products right now. Let's move into some powder. It looks like I pulled out powder bronzer and not cream bronzer. So I guess we will use a little bit of powder before we do the bronzer. Or you know what? We could do, maybe we'll do this a little bit out of order. So I pulled out this liquid blush. This is the YSL Make Me blush in the shade 44. And I'm going to use the 116 brush to apply this. This is the other new brush from BK Beauty that I'm really enjoying. But this YSL blush color I really, really love. They blend really, really nicely too, even though I went directly on the skin, which is usually a no for me. But these, they do blend out really nicely. Speaking of YSL, what do we think of the YSL blushes, the new powder ones? I have one in my cart on Sephora. In fact, I have this shade 44, but I haven't purchased it because I don't know. I don't know if I just like have to have that, to be honest. I did order 2 of the new Patrick Ta shades because y'all know me and I always try his new blushes. I ordered 2 of those and actually just tried those yesterday in a video that I filmed, so that will be coming in like I don't know, a day or 2. But has anyone tried the YSL blushes? And if you have, what do you think of them? Are they like a must-have? So I really wanted the nude color. I think it's called like Nocturnal Nude, but Sephora doesn't have that color. They only have certain ones of the colors. And then when I went on the YSL website, the blushes come up, but there's like no add to cart button. So it's like they're not available yet or something. I don't know. I thought it was really strange. But let me know if you have tried them and they're really good. Let me know because I want to know. But I don't know. I just haven't been able to order them or order one. I don't know why. Anyways, I'm trying to be better this year, as I've said, about not just ordering every new launch, even though the makeup lover in me obviously wants to try the new stuff. But at the same time, I don't want to overbuy. So anyways, let me know your thoughts because I'm curious. Okay, I am using some powder now. And this is actually the Laura Mercier pressed setting powder, but it's the Ultra Blur version. And I'm actually not even sure if they make this anymore. For some reason, I feel like when this was released, it was released as a limited edition product or something. I don't know if I'm just making that up or if that really was how it was when this was released. But anyways, haven't used it in a while. So I'm just kind of lightly setting with this because like I said, we're going to use a powder bronzer in a minute. For bronzer, I pulled out this one from Sephora collection. This is the matte bronzer in the shade number 1 Golden Gate. And I like this bronzer. It's been a while since I used it though. And I'm gonna apply this with my Refer number 5 brush. I would also love to know what you guys think of the Lisa Eldridge concealer, the pinpoint concealer, because I've been on Lisa Eldridge multiple times and put it in my cart, and then I never end up actually checking out and buying it. So what are our thoughts on this? Would you want to see me try that product? Is that something you're really interested in, or no? I have a lot of thoughts on it. Part of me, the curiosity in me really wants to try it just because it's something pretty different from what we typically see with concealer releases, but I don't know. At the same time, I was like, do I really need to try that? I don't know. You're getting like, I think what I saw is you get like 0.04 fluid ounces of product, and that concealer is $34 for 0.04 ounces. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. I am gonna use that Laura Mercier powder to set my concealer as well. I don't really remember if I've used that under the eyes before, but I'm gonna use it today. I did also pull out one of my Kosas blushes. This is the Euphoria shade. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that over the top of the YSL one because these shades go really well together. For the brows, I pulled out this from NYX. This is the Powder Louder Brow Pencil. And I actually like this. I just haven't used it in a little while. But this is basically a brow pencil, but it's like powder. So it's like kind of like the ABH brow powder, but just in a pencil. My dog is barking because the wind outside is like making the walls kind of shake. And like all the other dogs around, I think, are hearing the same thing because I hear them all. They're all starting to bark. It's so windy. I just love NYX brow products. Like I just think they do brows so incredibly well. Like between this and the micro brow pencil, like they just kill it in the brow department. And this one is the shade Ash Brown. And then to set them in place, I just pulled out a random brow gel. This is the MAC one. This one's okay. It's not a favorite, but I would like to use it up. Okay, I did not pull out a different eye primer, so I'm just gonna use the one that's in my everyday makeup right now. It's my favorite one anyway. This is the Sigma eyeshadow base in the shade Persuade. For the eyes, I pulled out I Need a Nude because this one never disappoints. And it's been quite a while since I pulled this one out to use. And I always feel a little bit unsure of what to do with this palette, mainly because I love every single shade in here and I have a hard time narrowing it down. I think I'm gonna start with this color right here, which is Mesh, one of the lighter matte shades in the palette. And I'm gonna apply this on the lid and up into the crease. So just kind of like a light wash of it all over. I feel like I've got to wash this brush because I keep wiping it off, but I feel like there's some like warm color that's like on the bristles here that I just can't get off because like that looks a little bit warmer than normal, but oh well. Okay, I'm gonna take this shade up here, which is Travertine. It's a grayish kind of taupey color. And I'm gonna take this with a Rephr 02 brush, and I'm gonna pack this on the lid, so kind of on top of where we just put mesh, and just kind of tapping it all the way up to where we place that color. I'm gonna switch now to a smaller brush. This is the Rephr 14, and I'm gonna take this matte shade up here, Vague, which is this really pretty kind of rose shade, and I'm gonna place this in the outer corner and then kind of blend it up and over into the crease. And then I'm gonna go back to that first brush that we used, which was the Rephr 15, and just blend around the edges of that pink shade. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of this color right here, which is Sheen. It's one of the wet kind of topper shades, and I'm gonna basically just tap a little bit of that on this inner part of my lid. Then I'm gonna take a small Rephr 03, and I'm gonna go, let's see, I'm gonna take this kind of deeper gray called Tender, and I'm gonna apply this on the upper lash line, the outer half of the upper lash line, making it just a little bit thicker on the outer corner, just for like a little bit of liner, but not actual eyeliner. Now for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go into the first shade we used with the 210 brush from BK Beauty, and I'm gonna run that on the bottom lash line. I'm gonna take a little bit of that shade we used here for the liner, like just a little tiny bit of that, and we're gonna put that on this very outer corner of the lower lash line. One final thing, I'm gonna take a little bit of that mesh color again and bring a little more of that to this inner part of my eye right here. Taking a little bit of Makeup Forever Artist Pencil in Limitless Brown, and I'm just adding the tiniest bit of that to the outer corners. Okay, I am just curling my lashes now, and I'm actually gonna use this mascara because after I film this video, I'm literally gonna turn around and wash this off because I am doing a live for the BU Beauty Club members right after this. So I'm gonna use whatever is easier to take off so it's not difficult, because I'm literally about to just wash this off. And I just repurchased a new one of these, and I am so happy I did. I cannot live without my e.l.f. Lash and Roll, truly. Finally, for lips, I pulled out a bunch of things. I'm kind of having trouble deciding. I think maybe we'll go with this first. Who remembers when I was using this in almost every video, the Sephora collection lip liner in Sink or Suede? It's a really pretty, kind of like a mauve-y nude. I guess that is Sink or Suede right there. That is a really good color. It can look a little bit like purpley though on me. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this also. This is Makeup by Mario Almond. That's been a favorite for a very long time. Very, very long time. Okay, and then the lipstick I pulled out, I don't know if I'm gonna love this or not. This is Thanks It's MAC from MAC, obviously. Let's try it. I don't know. Not really feeling it. Not feeling it. I wonder if it's that first lip liner. I don't know what it is with me lately, but I just have not been loving cool lip liners. I don't know. Really cool lip products in general. And I think it's because my lips kind of naturally have like a cooler tone to them. Like they get really annoyed when I rub on them. And then if I put like more cool tone stuff on top, it's kind of like it makes my lips look almost purple or something. I don't know. I just haven't been loving it. Okay, let's try Almond by itself. I love Almond. There's Almond and Thanks It's MAC. That's better. That's definitely better. I don't know. I'm just not into that like cool tone lip for myself. I don't know why. And then let's do a little bit of gloss. Kind of been topping everything with this gloss lately. This is Fenty Gloss Bomb in Sweet Mouth. All right, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed hanging out, chatting, using some of my older products that I haven't used in a while. I love making these videos. I almost always rediscover at least one product in videos like this that I had kind of forgotten about, or just, you know, things that haven't been used and are great products and should be used. And I'm happy with how this all came together. I was a little worried in the beginning when we were using this because this is just not a great tone for me and just way too dark. But I think with the lighter concealer, we made it work pretty well. And honestly, that Fenty foundation is really beautiful on the skin. So I don't know, maybe eventually I'll end up getting a better shade for me in that. I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Everything that I used, as always, I will have in the description box with links, and if you do shop through my links, it does support me and this channel, so thank you so much if you do. And if you're new, again, I would love for you to subscribe and make sure to follow me over on Instagram as well at the same username, simply.blair, and I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.